This is Eco Atlantic City. You should have seen series of videos about a city built on 10 square kilometers of land reclaimed from the Atlantic Ocean. Some called it the Dubai of Nigeria. At completion, the city developers South Energy X promised this new peninsula is anticipating at least 250,000 residents and generating over 400,000 jobs, and would further help solve the chronic shortage of housing in the fast evolving city of Lagos and Nigeria at large. Other than being used as a finish line for the Lagos City Marathon, when completed, they said the city would serve as a regional hub for banking, tourism, luxury real estate, and it's also projected to contribute about $1 billion to the Nigerian GDP. This project brought a lot of controversies because more than a decade later, only a handful of buildings have been completed. Large sections of the city is still empty and plots are awaiting construction work. Lagosians and Nigerians in general are eager to see this city come alive.
They started this project way back in 2009, and this is 2022. That's about 13 years.
The world has been watching. Many questions are yet to be answered. Why is the development in Eco Atlantic City taking too long to hit completion? Will an average Nigerian citizen benefit from the development of this city? Before we go ahead and answer all of these questions, let me take you back in time and explain how and why this city was created in the first place. Many years ago, the shores of Victoria Island faced threat of coastal erosion, so the city developers South Energy X was granted the permission to go ahead and build a preliminary seawall to protect the Victoria Island's landscape from coastal erosion. It was built with the highest level of marine engineering in the world today. This once devastated shoreline was not only re-established to where it once was, which is 1.5 miles offshore. The 8.5-kilometer sea barrier is now known as the Great Wall of Lagos and the backbone of the Eco Atlantic City.
Then between the Great Wall of Lagos and Victoria Island, we now reclaim the land that was lost. So there used to be land here that was lost to erosion. So now we are reclaiming that land, and on that land we are building the new business capital of the largest economy in Africa.
This basic idea turned into a significant project with benefits to overcome over 100 years of coastal erosion while building a new city on reclaimed land at the same time, with hopes guys, to provide homes to over 250,000 people and put Lagos, Nigeria on the world map. The number one reason why the city seems like construction work is not picking up is due to the high cost of acquiring plots of land. Eco Atlantic City plots are the most expensive not only in Nigeria but in West Africa at large. Many consider Eco Atlantic City to be a city that would benefit only the super wealthy, and they would never be wrong for thinking that way. The city is priced in dollars, further putting it out of the reach of most Nigerians who have seen the value of Naira halved against the US dollar since mid-2014. A 2-bedroom apartment in Alkebulan Towers and Azuri Towers have a starting price of at least $1.5 million, all in a country where the average income is $7,000 per annum. 90% of the population will never be able to rent or buy a home in the city of the future. To give you even more insight on how expensive it is, the average price for land for sale in Eco Atlantic City, Lagos is between $2,500 to $3,000 per square meter. And also note that the plot at the marina section is more expensive. So if you're going to buy 1,000 plots of land at $3,000 per square meter, that's going to cost you about $3 million USD, which is about 1.8 billion naira to buy land. And there are about 219 listings and 21 lands available for sale at Eco Atlantic City. I cited this from propertypro.ng. However, basic infrastructures have already been put in place and is designed to meet the highest standards, meeting present and future demands. Plots are delivered with connection to utility service with access to the 2 large marinas connected by an internal waterway. Several trees have already been planted, but at completion there will be over 200,000 trees going to be planted there in Eco Atlantic, and it's being nurtured as the Eco Atlantic Nursery Farm. Here are a list of completed or almost completed projects within Eco Atlantic City as of 2022. The first is Alkebulan Towers. These towers was constructed by the Alkebulan Construction Limited. At total completion, there will be about 5 towers, but as of 2022, there are only 2 towers completed, both offering 2 and 3 bedroom apartment with state-of-the-art facilities. This one structure was completed in the city, and the design kept people wondering what the city would look like when it is fully completed. The second is Azuri Towers, a maiden project of the Eco Development Company constructed by ITB. The 3 towers are built on 13,150 square meters with 4 parking floors. You have an office towers and 2 residential towers with about 130 apartments. What I love the most about the Azuri Towers is how it connects and brings the water waves to its door. With a few steps, you can get into a boat right there at the marina. The third project is Eco Energy City. It is a visionary real estate development. It's made up of luxury apartments, contemporary office spaces, and a range of amenities to meet the exacting demands of residents and visitors. Now, the fourth is Alpha One. It's a towers. It's one of the few completed buildings within the city. It's a new office development in the Marina district of the new Eco Atlantic City. The office features 14 floors of open offices, a basement, and a car park. It was still developed by ITB. Then you have the Alkebulan A and A Towers. It is a 98-unit residential building currently undergoing construction in Eco Atlantic City. The project started in 2019 and is set to be completed in 2023, that's next year. The towers comprises of a dual-level penthouse, 2 and 3 bedroom apartments, high-quality office spaces, and well-designed retail spaces as well. A couple of projects has actually been launched. Groundbreaking ceremonies have been organized, like the Arc Towers, you have the Emmanuel Chapel, you have the US Consulate, and the Audacity Skyline by Landway, and even more projects, right? Despite Eco Atlantic receiving strong support from the government, many believe the completion of this project would further increase the inequality between those in Eco Atlantic City and others in the wider city of Lagos. This particular tweet I saw on Twitter highlighted the frustration of people stating Eco Atlantic City is impressive, but it is a Potemkin village. This is the first time I'm actually coming across this word, so I'm going to go ahead and check what that word means. He now went on to say most of the people who work there cannot afford to live there. All major banks consulate, and he also stated the US is already moving there and that they'll move their masses while people are still living in Ikorodu and their commute would be worse. I understand many have questioned the benefits of the project to the middle and the low income earners, but I want you to think about it this way. The Eco Atlantic City is set to house headquarters of big banks, multinational corporations, embassies, and a lot more, right? Now, the city developers promise that there will be about 400,000 people that will be employed as workers in this city. So that is 400,000 employment for both the middle class and the lower middle class. And commute to and off Eco Atlantic City is not only by road. They have a canal which can be accessed by canoes or boats, and then you have direct access to Ikorodu and the other part of Lagos. So not only by road you can use to access Eco Atlantic.
So imagine that a world-class company wants to build their headquarters in Africa, their regional headquarters in Africa. At the moment, they would consider options such as Johannesburg, they would consider options such as Nairobi, not necessarily somewhere in Nigeria, but a place like this gives them that kind of opportunity. It gives them something to consider to come to Lagos and to come to Nigeria, and that in turn attracts foreign investments and it creates jobs for more Nigerians. But even beyond that, already this project employs thousands of Nigerians. I'm just one Nigerian that is employed by this project, and there are many more Nigerians that are employed by this project. So it already creates thousands of jobs.
Before we proceed, let's give our sponsors of this video, TransferGo, a shout out. If you are in the diaspora and have been having issues with sending money to Nigeria, TransferGo is an international money transfer company offering a range of affordable money transfer services without excessive bank fees. With TransferGo, you can now send Naira to Nigerian banks accounts from the EU and the UK. What makes them different is, one, the exchange rate is one of the best in the market. They use the black market rate, which makes it better than traditional banks and any other money transfer services. Two, the money arrives in less than 30 minutes to the recipient in his Naira or USD bank account, as well as USD cash pickup as well. Their services is regulated by the UK Financial Conduct Authority as an authorized payment institution and already trusted by 4 million users worldwide. They are also the best rated financial services on trustpilot.com. To get started, log into their website. You can use the currency converter to give you an idea of how much your recipient will be receiving. The currency rate is fixed, so the amount you decide to send is what will arrive. There is no hidden charges, and the cool part is you can track your money transfer easily in your account and also select a desired delivery date based on your needs. Easy to use and hassle-free. It takes less than a minute to start your transfer and 30 minutes to deliver the money. So what are you waiting for? Visit transfergo.com for more info and get started with your transfer. Thank you so much, TransferGo, for sponsoring this video.
This Atlantic City will not only benefit the promoters of this project, but it will be an important addition to our nation's drive to promote tourism and good living. The project is a great example of partnership, where it brings private individuals and companies who have the knowledge and requisite expertise to transform land lost to erosion into a delightful ocean city.
In a previous video, I interviewed David Adeleke, a former head of communications at Eco Atlantic City. He spoke about the 5 facts people don't know about the Eco Atlantic City project and further demystify some of the myths about the project.
5 things people don't know about Eco Atlantic. Number 1, Eco Atlantic is 100% privately funded. Yes, we work in collaboration with the government because it is Lagos State. You have to do that. You can't just do things how you want. You have to work with the government, but it is 100% privately funded. Number 2, Eco Atlantic City is built with the future in mind. So what does that mean? People ask this question a lot. Why isn't the city moving faster? And I always tell them that great things take time. So for a city like this, you have to be very deliberate about how you build, about what you build, because you're not just building for today. You're building a city that is going to last for a very long time. So if you're doing that, then you have to be more deliberate with how you construct buildings and how you finance. Another thing people do not know is how much engineering has gone into the wall, into designing the wall that protects Eco Atlantic City and Victoria Island. So the Great Wall of Lagos, as we know it, at the base is at least 46 meters wide at the base, and it is at least 9 meters above sea level. And the wall was live tested at the Danish Hydraulic Institute in Copenhagen, Denmark. What that means is at that lab, we built a live model of the wall and did every simulation. So the wall was live tested to the worst possible storm in 100 years, the worst possible storm in 200 years, and even the worst possible storm in 1,000 years. And the wall was live tested at 7.5 meters. And so to factor in all the infrastructure that will go underground, we added some extra meters to make it 9 meters above sea level. And another thing is the wall is protected by what you call acropods. And each acropod weighs 5 tons. And there are over 100,000 acropods that are protecting the wall. So all the acropods are locked with a GPS locator, and all of them form the strength of one. So do the math, 5 tons times 100,000. So that is the strength of the wall that is protecting Eco Atlantic City from the ocean. And the wall again serves as a wave breaker. So the waves hit the wall and then they die down. You can see it happening behind me. The waves hit the wall and then they die down. So you're not transferring the impact further down the coast.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video answered some of your questions. But anyway, let me know what you think about this futuristic city, Eco Atlantic, being built in Lagos.